These are probably the most spoilt little people in the world, but they're part of the pasture team.
Oh my goodness. Is this one of those scenes I wouldn't have believed it if I never saw it with my own eyes? We'll gallop around.
That's Cam Heron, bareback and in the bull ring. And join us later as we write a chapter in our own romantic novel. Synopsis: Cam, handsome helicopter pilot, meets Eva, attractive, enterprising executive. And together they grow their relationship for the love of the thoroughbred. Hey, thanks for viewing For the Love of Racing. On this episode, we try and keep up with the lady we've described as Queen Bee, Justine Sclater, Queen of Bloodstock. And as our crew quickly found out, Justine's day is at a frenetic pace from dawn to dusk. Justine Sclater heads New Zealand Thoroughbred Breeders Association, a parent body of 8 regional branches, essentially developed to promote and advance the interests of the thoroughbred and its breeders. With the association's pillar, Justine's words, Karina Holmes, and since departed Madison Timms, no day is the same at NZTBA. From health to welfare, research, award recognitions, the Stallion Register seems like a breeze. But of late, Justine's focus and energy has been to explain our industry at government level to advance an ever-changing primary industry policy.
When I first started this job, Council came out with a lot of, I suppose you'd call them parameters around how farms would operate and what their stocking numbers would be, and they had what they call an overseer, which is it's kind of a line in the sand of nutrient management. So we kind of stumbled into it and then realised that horses were classed as a ruminant animal, which, as you well know, horses are not a ruminant animal.
Just for those who've forgotten, a ruminant animal is hoofed, chews its cud, has a 4-chamber stomach and burps. The thoroughbred doesn't burp, have simple stomachs, so are classified as monogastric. So thank goodness Justine is on the case.
From there we were kind of like, how are we going to deal with this? So we went out and undertook some research, and we've got a really good affiliation with Massey, with Dr. Chris Rogers down there, and he's got a team down there, and they assisted us on doing research around the nutrient management of horses. And then in a nutshell, because I could go on and on, we presented at that hearing, and we were really well received, because we forget that people don't have any understanding of what we do. And you know, like, our industry is based on, like I was explaining to you before, we're a natural breed society, so our horses are naturally mated, and the rest of agriculture, you know, there's semen, there's artificial insemination, all those things, but for us to mate a mare, it must go to the stallion. So that suddenly meant this big influx of mares would go into a thoroughbred stud during the spring, and that just didn't fit what they were envisaging as far as stocking numbers. So suddenly that was all thrown out. So, you know, I'd stand up there and explain to them, you know, that we actually, the birds and the bees happen in our world. It's not, you know, yeah. We don't fit their template, that's basically it. And I think when they started to understand what our economic contribution is to New Zealand, suddenly they've started to listen. And I think that's probably what we all need to do, is tell that story, constantly tell it. Because when you go out in the farms that you've been on today, you know, we've got good tree planting, you know, our fencing is good, we have parked up land to plant, you know, so those are all the things that we can bring into this picture and tell that story to the government and to policy makers, that we are, I don't want to say we are a really compliant industry, because we still have things that we need to do to make us better, but it's all about giving that evidence back to show them what we actually are and what we're doing and what we're trying to achieve. So for me, to be able to go back to some of the policy makers and say, hey, every feed bag that comes off a farm, you know, we recycle, and you know, it's just such a massive area that we're all working towards, that, you know, as New Zealanders, we love our country, our climate, our environment. So the thoroughbred breeding and racing industry needs to be part of that.
Sitting second, third is bit nosy outside, after elicited, then followed Dicey, travelled okay in fifth, time and again has sprung up in traffic back on the inside of it, charge worked forward, also progressing around in this flossy road.
Hi, I'm Jamie Richards.
My name is Danielle Southey.
Hi, I'm Mark Forbes. I'm Nathan Trumpet.
My name's Shannon Taylor, and I went on to the Irish National Stud Scholarship in 2018. And I was the recipient of the Sunline Trust International Management Scholarship.
And I won the 2012 Sunline Trust International Management Scholarship.
I went on the Irish National Stud in 2008. I'm currently...
NZTBA are proud of the historic recipients of the 2 scholarships awarded each year and continue to strive to assist young New Zealanders into a thoroughbred industry career.
If you go out to schools and talk to potential students that may want a career in the thoroughbred industry, what do you tell the parents? Oh yeah, it's great, you know, come along. But if you can actually say, we have a qualification and you are part, you know, if you're on a level 3 NCEA qualification and then can be on an apprenticeship scheme, that's a really big feather in our cap, and that's something that has been, like, prior to me, the time and effort that went into writing the unit standards that these kids learn from is incredible, and that was all done voluntary. You've got to remember the thoroughbred breeders ran this right back from when Mary Lynn Ryan, which would be, I think, 30 years ago, had the foresight to think, you know, how are we going to educate and foster people in our industries. Yeah, I left school, was supposed to go to university, went overseas, to, you know, work with horses, because that's all I ever wanted to do.
Justine is a farm girl at heart. This she describes as her happy space. One of 7 children, and here is Dad and Mum, Colin and Irene, along with another recognisable breeding face, her brother John Thompson, who have developed the Ritual Stud brand. Justine in her own right has been very successful in the yearling sales ring under her banner Kirkwall Thoroughbreds.
And that's probably why I really enjoyed yearling preparation, because I loved, you know, growing horses out. That was my favourite part, you know, turning them in from those little woolly weanlings that you might have brought, and then you could take them to the sales, and it was kind of your derby day. This is not an expensive hobby for me, it's a business, yeah. And I always try to keep that, like I try not to collect horses. You know, you can get really emotionally attached, and at times it really, really hurts, especially when you've raised them from foals, but then you're watching them on the racetrack. I mean, it's such a thrill to think you were the first person to handle that horse, you educated it, it's like your children, you've given them a grounding, but you can't control it either. Yeah, you know, like when you watch your horses performing in Hong Kong on TV and things like that, that's pretty exciting to think it was raised here in this little paddock, and then, wow, there you go, we're off. And when you look at our cost structure compared to other countries, yeah, we're so fortunate, and our horses can live outside, you know, and you know, that stacks up. I feel like we're like the free range country, you know, sustainability wise. I think, you know, we reflect really well in that space as well, which is something we probably need to promote more.
Our day with Justine ends with a visit to Cody Cole's Tirau Racing Stables, 15 minutes south of Matamata, which simply captures the essence of the New Zealand environment and the Kiwi way. A 20-acre property developed from scratch with blood, sweat and tears, using Kiwi ingenuity intertwined with Mother Nature.
I mean, you look around you and look at the view, the space they've got to move, the natural environment. Yeah, it's a pretty special place, and I always love coming here. It's kind of, I always feel it's a very calming experience to come and see horses here. They always look so happy, they're always interactive and out the door to see you, and I really love that. And then you saw what they can do down in the water this morning. That's, you know, from a welfare and a soundness and, you know, that whole holistic approach, it's perfect. I am pretty proud of the New Zealand industry. I think, you know, we've had some tough years, like Cody and I were just talking about, getting through, you know, what we all had to do to band together to get through COVID and come out the other side, and the pressures we've had. You know, we're all aware of the financial implications, but when we produce a product like this and you see them out doing their thing, it just makes it all worthwhile, doesn't it? Like, we go out there on a world stage, and the statistic, you know, we won 24% of the Group 1 races in Australia last year off 7% of the racing population. I mean, what a statistic. You know, Australia is the best racing jurisdiction in the world at the moment, and we can go over there and punch well above our weight. But then I look at the environment where we're raising our horses and the people, and that's the reason we can do it.
There is no doubt there is an enormous amount of energy that goes in by NZTBA staff to fly the New Zealand Thoroughbred flag. So well done, team. Just before we leave her story, Justine, we described as the Queen of Bloodstock, could just as well easily been described as the Queen of all things hiking, because here with her husband David, they've tramped most of the national parks in our wonderful Aotearoa. And now it's to Cam and Eva Heron, operating under their Highline Thoroughbred banner at Waitoa on the outskirts of Cambridge. It's a morning of fun, yearling preparation and education for our team as the couple take us through a step-by-step, one-on-one, no stone unturned, hands-on approach to nurturing young equine stock.
He got weaned yesterday.
He got weaned yesterday.
That's amazing.
So he's, hey Rosie.
I'll
Hey,
cut
Elle.
it out.
Hey.
You're horse whisperers. Hey?
Don't know about that.
Look at these.
Yeah.
Remarkably, this is a world so disconnected from their previous corporate life. Cam, the high-flying helicopter pilot, meets Eva, the enterprising executive, then both based in the capital city, Wellington.
Well, my understanding it was sort of one flight and he sort of jacked up a date.
He did.
Smooth talking dude.
He did.
Yeah.
Well, as it turned out, I didn't know at the time, but she did the uniforms for our company.
Oh, right.
So then at the next base meeting we had, they needed a volunteer to sort out the uniforms. So I was like, yep, that'll be me.
And they said, I've never seen you so keen on doing something.
Got to have a way in. Yeah.
Hey guys, you look out there and that's hugely a labour of love out there for you people over a period of time. Must be quite satisfying what you see out there.
Yeah, it is. It's good. Still chipping away. It's just, you can't do it all in one day, can you? So, no, it's good.
I think we've even learned a story, even if you've got a broken shoulder, you've got to get out there and do it. A bit unfair. You can't even pull a sickie. The boss is on to you.
There's no sickies around here.
No, not allowed sickies, that's for sure.
No sickies around here.
You've left behind the corporate world is the key.
I know.
Yeah.
Bit of pain, the
high
corporate
finance,
world.
champagne at lunch.
True.
All that sort of good stuff.
True.
Which I thought was good stuff.
Yeah, yep.
Come on.
Now you're with the animals.
I know. And it's better paying the corporate world.
Yeah. It's not about money now, is it? Really?
No, Rosie,
It's
don't
lifestyle.
want your bum. Good boy. Good boy.
So really
That's so
with these
clever.
babies, it's just getting them to trust you, really.
Yeah.
Once they trust you, the leading and standing and all that is easy. And same, you know, picking up feet, all that stuff that they have to learn as a racehorse, it all starts here.
They're definitely your family. We've seen the love and attention you give them and to every absolute 100% detail.
Yeah, they are, and you know, the satisfaction for us is we pretty much keep them through to or yearlings, and especially our own ones. We foal them down, or you plan the mating, you foal down, foal handling, and then all the way through to the yearling prep, and then you get to the sales, which is really probably 2.5 years from when you plan the mating, and then at that stage, then you say adios, and then you're off to a new home. So and then you got the next ones coming in behind them. So it's just an ongoing circle, really.
Is there a tear in your eye that day, Eva, when your pride and joy leave forever?
Yes,
Yeah.
and clients' ones as well. We get quite attached to clients' ones, so we've got clients that come to us that we foal down every year for them, and we follow those horses through and we follow them through with their racing. So, you know, the likes of Alabama Gold and
Alabama
Dark
Gold.
Destroyer, I mean, we feel, even though we didn't breed the horse, we just feel just as much connected as the breeder does, and we're there cheering them on, screaming at the TV, like idiots really, but jumping up and down.
When Dark Destroyer won, she was on the couch wooling her
I was in
eyes out.
tears. Yeah. I mean, so we do put, I think, a lot of our
Emotional effort
into them, and just try to really try to make them the best that they possibly can be. You know, give them the best opportunity to get there. Sure. And when they do that, that's amazing. It's so rewarding. It really is. Come on, bud. Come on.
See, they're just starting to get the hang of the pressure.
Yeah. Good boy. Clever boy.
I think if you're good with animals, you're good with horses or with dogs or with cattle or with sheep or with whatever. You're either an animal person or you're not. You know, that's where it comes from. Both Eva and I are both animal people. You'd agree, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I mean, my background is in horses, so I used to do a lot of equestrian riding, and I think over the years dealing with horses you learn more and more, and they teach you more and more, and there's some really good people out there in the industry that have some amazing knowledge on horses and how to deal with them, and I think you start to learn yourself how you want to deal with them, how you want to educate them, how you want them to turn out in the end. And in the end for us, we really want them well educated, so when they go on to the next part in life, whether it's to the breakers or on to racing, that they're going to be a good horse to deal with. They're not going to be a problem child.
So this is sort of one of the, we've just got them, just started to get them going with the pressure. So,
It's a week.
Yeah, almost a week, yeah. Come on, boy. Good boy.
Come on.
There you
You're
go.
all right.
Good boy.
All right.
There you go.
You're
Good boy.
all right. I know, it's
Good
tough,
boy.
isn't it?
Come on. Come on.
Good boy.
Good boy.
You're all right.
There you go.
Good boy.
There you go.
And the rehab guys, we really enjoy doing those, because
Those
just
rehab horses, yeah.
seeing the change in them is just amazing. It's absolutely amazing. It's really, really rewarding, that work, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's really rewarding. He probably had a less than 50-50 chance, so we got him. As I say, he was pretty bad. He came off sort of dragging that hip where you can see it drops down a wee bit, and we just started slowly with our rehab. So we started walking him for 5 minutes, and then that just went up and up and up in
Down the
time.
aisle in the barn once to start with, wasn't it?
Yep. So he's improved tenfold. I mean, granted, he's not totally straight in the back there, but it's just with him, it's a time thing.
It takes a long time. It takes time. The bone's got to heal, and then the muscles got to heal around the bone again, and it's just an ongoing gentle to what you saw down in the paddock there today. You know, he's probably not far away from being right. We
have had support from the industry, so you know, we can easily ring somebody and say, look, we're sort of stuck in this situation, we're not 100% sure, what would you do in this situation? So we have been really fortunate, and New Zealand Breeders Association, Justine's been amazing. I can ring her about anything, and she's really good, and she's sort of got it at her fingertips. She knows who to contact, or you know, if we have needed help along the way somewhere. Yeah. So it's honestly, it's a great industry to be involved with, and there's so many good people, really good people in the industry. It's a cool industry.
We still think there is some substance to our romantic novel. Helicopter pilot, smitten with corporate executive, now smitten with the thoroughbred racing industry. Hey, thanks to Cam and Eva and to Justine for showing their passion, their drive and their energy for their love of racing. Thanks for viewing.